Greetings, congregation and parishioners of the Church of Jorzo. My name is Dawson. I am the joke of this church. I am pleased to announce that we have received enough donations to help the starving developing nation to buy me some editing software that I got for free on the internet. So keep those donations rolling in so that we can help others and help ourselves to help others and to buy your religious leaders free stuff. Who knows, maybe in the future we can even get an editing software that is not free. This video may have a lot of jump cuts, which ideologically I hate as a person. However, we have not raised enough money to afford a script. So keep donating more to your favorite religious leader, or this will continue. This is a joke. I'm actually not asking for money, but if we ever get big enough, like Scientology big, that will no longer be a joke. Just want to clarify. We're getting to a large we're getting to a point that a large part of our church body is no longer just people that I know. In fact, it's like one in like 6, 1 in 7 maybe, I don't know. But to all of you that I don't know, I'm glad that you can share a part in this beautiful, beautiful vision of our true Lord. And I welcome you gladly to our church family. And I urge you to keep inviting your friends so that the church can grow and the love of Jorzo can spread. And also so we can get to Scientology big and like that money joke doesn't have to be a joke anymore. Can you see that? Please open your songbooks to page 37. I'm not really good at syncing audio to video yet, so I'm just going to be goofing around while we sing the song. But there'll be an audio track, don't worry.
Jorzo was not the first Jorzo. The first Jorzo lived long, long ago.
Then he exploded because manifesting his own existence was too hard.
Jorzo was not the first Jorzo. Our Jorzo is the best one, though.
It's time for the sermon. And the ground controller says, Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff. Over, says Roger. Murdoch, turning over to Over, says, huh? Over throws the console lever into second gear. Ground controller says, LA departure. Frequency 2.9er. Over, says Roger. Murdoch says, what? Basta says, request vector. Over. Over turns to Basta, says, what? Ground controller says, Flight 209er, cleared for vector 3, 2, 4. Murdoch says, we have clearance, Clarence. Over says, Roger, Roger, what's our vector, Vector? Just kidding, that's the script for Airplane. I guess I turned to the wrong page. And after time and time again turning to the congregation, Jorzo wept. He exclaimed as his feet were still spread wide apart in a double splits position. My friends, I could build the universe. I could stop my evil cohort, second Jorzo, convert him into thousands of tiny hamsters that work day and night to sell Kias. I could rule the earth, the most prized possession of my interstellar war with that heathen. I can flatten, I can thin at will because of my celestial powers. But my brothers, he sighs, I cannot do yoga. And the brothers could see this after watching Jorzo try to do yoga for hours upon hours upon hours, that he could not do it. Jorzo wept and wept and wept all through the night. What can we take from this passage? First of all, it's important to note that we should never make fun of Jorzo for not being able to do yoga because he will bring a famine upon our nation. A developed nation has not had a famine since the year 1918, right? All of the famines that have happened since that year have just been humankind's doing. But that year, that was Jorzo. But a good streak running, 103 years. We don't want to break that. But the second and more important lesson, I think, actually I don't know if it's more important. We should not make fun of Jorzo. That is the most important lesson. But the second lesson, the second and far less important lesson, is that it's okay to fail at some things, even if a lot of people are expecting you to be good at it. I've written all of these notebooks full of different writing materials, and like that much of it has gotten published. Does that mean that I'm a failure as a writer? Yes. But should I stop doing something that makes me feel good about myself? No. That's why I'm filling up an 8th notebook that will also be full of material that no one will ever see. In the eyes of Jorzo, we are all failures. Every single one of us. So why try and hide the fact that you're a failure? And why let the fact that you're a failure stop you from moving forward in life? That's what Jorzo has to say. But remember, don't piss Jorzo off, or he'll kill us all. Before we continue, we have a quick word from Jarchbishop Kieron over in Michigan. Today's god of the day is, at the time of recording this, the top god in Jorzo's pantheon. And that would be Bucky. Bucky is the beaver mascot for the infamous gas station and convenience store chain, mostly located within Texas, although it is beginning to spread elsewhere as well. Bucky is a marketing legend. The fact that this beaver creature could just become such an icon in this region of the country is insane. And it's wonderful. And the only explanation for this is the fact that Bucky is not just a gas station mascot, but is also a god that is only slightly less powerful than Jorzo. Bucky's merchandise is fantastic. This is extremely warm. This is the least itchy sweater I've ever worn in my life. And it's not bad. This shirt is glow in the dark. Like, I'm using window lighting, so I can't show you this right now. I can't just make it dark. Only Jorzo can do that, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Do I have a second Bucky onesie? Yes. Yes, I do. He has tumblers that are actually really incredible. I have beaver nuggets, which I've eaten most of because I'm a pathetic human being. But they're really good. So thank you to Bucky, god of Texas, and god of merchandising cartoon animals through very unconventional means, for existing and for being one of the most powerful parts of Jorzo's pantheon. Remember, if you donate more money to the joke in order to help the starving developed nation that I told you about, I can buy more Bucky's gear. Announcements. This Tuesday is the upcoming card game between Jorzo and the other religious figures of the world. This is nothing new to us at the Church of Jorzo. Every Tuesday, all of the leaders and spiritual figures of all of the world's various religions play card games together. This week's card game is Phase 10. Jorzo moderately likes this one. Jorzo would much prefer the classic blackjack. And Jorzo's really a euchre guy, but Phase 10 is something that he really enjoys. They're playing with fake money, so we're not bartering with real money here. Which most of the other churches of the world really objected to. But Jorzo, his chances of doing well are high. There's really only one winner to that game, and it takes a long time. So if Jorzo loses, we'll know, because Wednesday will be a shit day. Please pray for our brother Jake Warsaw. He was convinced by a bunch of rapping hamsters to buy a Kia. There were more, but I forgot them. So I will talk about them later. That is it for today's Church of Jorzo sermon. Thank you for coming. It was a real good time. God, I really need a shower. This is